we telling lies or we telling the truth today? What are we trying to do? Some days we, people want us to tell lies. Most days we try to tell the truth.
I can't lie to you.
Well, I can't lie either. And I've said many times, I don't think AJ is running the same as he used to. And I think the years of last year was the hamstring injury and a knee injury, which he said, by the way, was drained during Super Bowl week. And then you go to this year, and he missed most of training camp, and then he came back, and then he missed a week with a hamstring injury. I think this is caught up, and I don't think he's as explosive as he used to be. A couple days ago, you were talking about your algorithm here. You know what was in mine? Highlights, and I guess it's because I've been wading into Lions stuff recently. So on my algorithm, I saw a clip of AJ's first game as an Eagle. It was the first game of the 2022 season, right? His first game after he was traded here, Eagles at Lions. It started off the season. They got to the Super Bowl in 2022. And I was watching the highlights. A.J. Brown doesn't run like that anymore. And I know I'm probably not breaking news there. That's 3 years ago. It's a lot, 4 years ago. It's a long time in the NFL. He doesn't run like that anymore. He was explosive. And that's just my eyes compared to 4 years ago. But my eyes just this year tell me he's not as explosive as he used to be, even when he catches the football. And then I saw some numbers on this. You ready for these?
Yes.
Here are some numbers in terms of A.J. Brown's explosiveness, his speed, and how it compares to last year. So you ever hear those stats like win rate? Like they watch the tape and they grade who won, right? Like the tackle or the pass rusher, who won the rep. They do the same thing for corners and safeties and wide receivers. His overall win rate is down 9.5%. Against zone, it's down 7.8%. Against man, which he usually dominates, it's down 5.5%. And his targets are contested almost 10% more than in the past. It all tells me he's not as open. And I think we've seen that with our eyes. Like how many catches this year has he had where it's like, he's open. Even over the middle on slants and stuff. It just feels like he's not as open. DeVonta is. I think it's part of it that he doesn't want to recognize. And again, 8 minutes yesterday he spoke. Not one point did he say, I've been banged up. Maybe I haven't been physically right. Like it's all everybody else when he talks.
You know what, Joe? There might be some truth to that, but again, don't know. Because I would say going into most games that physically, against the corners, the matchup favors AJ. So that being fast is not a factor. AJ ain't never been a burner. He's never been that.
Of course.
But you liked AJ because he was a physical specimen in that he could body people. He hasn't lost that. That's why I'm on the fence when you say that. Like you have the numbers to back it up. I could say that Jalen is not putting him in position like he once did to be successful. It's one of those things. It's the chicken or the egg, to be totally honest.
I agree. I think we all see that. He's not throwing the ball to him as much, not giving him as many chances to make the 50-50 catch. But by definition, isn't 50-50 50-50? Like if I'm Jalen, I'm looking at DeVonta, that's 75-25. You're 50-50.
Okay.
Sorry, pal.
But here's the thing. Like I said, if I have a physical matchup, like, okay, for example, Harold Carmichael. Harold Carmichael wasn't one of the fastest. He was fast, but he wasn't the fastest. But Harold gave you a physical advantage every game he played in, right? Because he was 6'7", and he was bigger than most of the receivers, the corners that he was going against.
Sure.
You give Harold a chance to make a play.
I get it.
AJ, not saying AJ's Harold, but when you talk about, look at our corners and look at the corners that we played against, I'll take AJ in a 50-50 situation every time.
I get it. I feel like we're losing sight of what. May I say something that I feel like is being really under-talked about? I think DeVonta has gotten better.
No, he has, Joe.
But wait. They are the Philadelphia Eagles. They're not the Philadelphia A.J. Browns. The quarterback's job is to throw the ball to the open man and the throw that gives the team the best chance to move the football, first down, scoring, all that. Right now, like part of the reason I'm on Jalen's side of this, if I'm Jalen, why, besides your feelings, am I throwing you the ball more? Can anyone give me a reason besides his feelings?
And we talked about that. We've talked about all this is because he's a threat in this offense.
But again, if DeVonta's a better threat, I'm throwing him the ball.
You know what made Brett Favre such a good quarterback, and also what made him bad at times? The fact that he wasn't scared to pull the trigger.
Jalen's not Brett Favre.
No, but what I'm saying is this, Joe. No, that's not the comparison I'm trying to make, because there's a lot of quarterbacks that take care of the football. But when you have a receiver, and this is my opinion.
Yeah.
If you have a receiver of AJ's caliber, which you've heard multiple people say many times that he's that guy, you give him a chance.
Yeah.
And I think, and when I think about this situation, I think that's the biggest frustration that AJ has is that he feels like he's not given the opportunity to go out there and do that.
I get it. My point is he shouldn't be given the opportunity more. Devontae's the better receiver. I'm sorry. I was on the other side of this 2 years ago, but time has changed. New information, new opinions. The number one receiver I see every week is DeVonta Smith. And we didn't do this 2 years ago. 2 years ago, never was there a conversation. It's not fair to DeVonta. He doesn't get the ball because we were happy they were moving the football. We were happy they were winning. AJ was better. We recognized that. And we said, yeah, DeVonta's fine. Well, we said DeVonta, like, who cares about DeVonta? They're winning football games. Yeah. Why can't we do the same thing now? Because AJ's feelings.
Because, see, that's what it's been. It's devolved to that.
Yeah.
I think it's deeper than that, though. Because, see, that unfortunately for AJ, the way that he's handled all of this, that's the only thing that we see. And that's why this morning when I woke up, I stepped back from it because I was that cat. We talked about this, I was like, I'm not going to talk about this because it's ridiculous. But when he sat there, because we always talk about when you get new information,
new opinions.
You get new opinions.
That's how it works.
So when I sat there.
It's a tenet of the show.
When I, there was a lot of visuals that were going on for me. Like the one was when Bob was sitting there with him, making sure that his message, well, in this case, because of the story.
Story you told.
He was sitting there with him. That resonated with me because, like I said, I know Bob, and I know Bob's biggest thing was, in a perfect world, Bob would want this to go away.
Yeah.
But Bob wants the story to be told in the right way.
Yeah,
he wants it to be told in the right way. So that resonated with me. The fact that Nick Sirianni sit up there in the press. See, because this is the problem. Like, people like to listen to stuff in clips. And in a situation like this, you can't do that. You have to listen to everything that's being said. Nick Sirianni made it clear. AJ's a big part of what we do. He said that. He said he's a big part of our offense. And AJ's not being utilized in the way that AJ wants to be used. Now, the way AJ's going about it is not the way that it should be gone about. But I hear him.
Before Kyle puts his point, use a basketball analogy. Jalen's like a point guard, right?
Yes.
So why am I dumping it off to the guy that's being double teamed or has, there's a defender right on him when I could throw it to the guy in the corner who's wide open for a three? Like, why are we over emotional because he's over emotional?
Because I trust him.
Trust who? You trust AJ? I don't trust him at all. He's a wide receiver.
Here's the thing.
I don't trust loud receivers. What the hell do I trust loud?
Here's the thing.
When are loud receivers to be trusted?
And here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if this happened for sure, but normally receivers and quarterbacks in off season work out with each other, try to get that continuity back, to try to get that timing back. Has Jalen worked out with Schmitty or AJ in this offseason?
He sure looks like he has chemistry with Smitty.
No, I'm just saying because I remember, and maybe it's me because I'm old school and I ain't played in a long time, but that was a thing. Like, guys, I remember Five used to fly the receivers out to Arizona and work with those guys. Mm. There's been two. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, being a leader is leading off the field as well. Going into this season, you just won a Super Bowl, right? There's a rift in your relationship with your godparent or somebody that you consider family. Fix it. Bottom line. Like, I don't care about anything else because at the end of the day, when all this is said and done, when football is gone, those guys that you were in the trenches with,
sure,
that's the only cats you got left.
So you said offseason. What about the season? Like,
but Joe, my point is this. This has been going on for years.
I know. You're right. But since summer started, it's not Jalen's fault that AJ can't stay on the field. He missed the entire training camp. So who's he throwing to all training camp? DeVonta.
Joe,
and now this year he's missed time. Like,
I get that.
But that's the story. AJ's been banged up. AJ's not as open as much. DeVonta has progressed. DeVonta is healthy. DeVonta plays.
I don't think that's a fair assessment. I just don't.
What's unfair? What I'm saying? Tell me.
Because we don't know.
No, I do know. Hold on. Stop. Has AJ practiced fully this year?
No.
You say it's not fair. We know that.
But no, it's not fair because we don't know we can't definitively say what AJ is right now.
We
can't say that.
But here are facts. He's missed a lot of practice since summer began. DeVonta has not.
And yet and still, with all that you're saying, the offense still runs through him.
I don't believe it does anymore. Nick
Sirianni just said that.
I think
we don't believe that.
My turn. I'll recklessly speculate. They all know he's in decline. He's very sensitive. They're not telling him. They're walking on eggshells because they don't want to tell him you're not the number one here anymore. And guess why? They're trying to get through this, and they're going to trade him in the offseason. I don't believe that you can't convince me everyone there is stupid except A.J. Brown. He's still the guy he was 2 years ago, and no one's throwing him the football?
See, and that's the question I can't answer.
I think the truth is simpler than that. He's not the same guy. He doesn't accept it. They know it. He doesn't. They don't want to tell him. They appease him by saying, you're still our guy, A.J. We love you. And he is believed now that everyone's against him.
Actions speak louder than words.
They always do.
Offense hasn't run through A.J. Brown for 2 years now.
It doesn't. It ran through Saquon, and now it runs through Smitty, and they try Saquon, even though that's not effective.
And yet, we scored 10 points.
How about the 68 they scored the 2 games before this?
I'm just saying, we scored 10 points.
All right.
To be fair, against a very good defense.
Very good defense. No, I'm just saying, I hear what you're saying, but I think everything that you're saying, and you're not wrong because you have the numbers to back you up, but I feel like it's inconclusive because no, and this before you start laughing, it's inconclusive because his production is contingent upon the quarterback throwing him the ball, and he's not doing that.
Right, but we're assuming the quarterback's not throwing the ball for a reason other than he doesn't think it's the best idea. Like,
Jalen is risk averse.
Yes.
There's too many variations in this equation to say definitively that's what this is. Though
I can't sit here and for 5 years everyone tell me Jalen's smart, he's a winner, he gets the game, right? And I believe that. But then on this, he's decided to be dumb. What?
Well, trust plays a massive role in risk evaluation.
Thank you. And they don't have that right now.
Yes.
They don't have that. But you're touting Smitty. That's why I asked, did he work out an offseason with Smitty? Why you trust Smitty so much all of a sudden now?
I said because he's practiced with him since July. Like, they've practiced probably 100 times since training camp started, and AJ's missed a lot of those practices. Let's hear this coach yesterday, Sirianni. He was asked about AJ's health, and he seems to say he's fine.
Nick, is AJ physically the same player he was in previous seasons? And I understand that maybe you can't look at the stats in one game, but we're pretty decent sample size here. His production hasn't been up to that level. Why is that?
Yeah, I think he's moving around really well, and getting out of breaks well. Still, physical, strong, quick. I still see all the same physical attributes.
Okay.
So now Coach Sirianni's lying, you think?
Well, he's going to tell everyone he's lost a step? Did they say that about you at the end of your career?
Okay.
I mean,
they did. They basically did.
No, but Andy didn't get on the podium and say, but you know what I mean. Like, the head coach wouldn't do that to his player.
Well, technically, I was already hurt, so I was on my way out the door.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, where it feels to me like there's a disconnect, because if they're still if you felt that he wasn't that guy, you don't run the offense through him as a detriment to the team.
But are we sure that they keep saying they're running it through him? He doesn't get the football. What does that mean?
You tell me what it means, Joe.
I told you. I think they're appeasing him. I think he thinks he's the number one.
I think that he feels like the quarterback isn't pulling the trigger.
The quarterback, we agree on that. He's not pulling the trigger. But I think AJ feels like he should, and I think everyone else is telling you.
And I feel like they feel like he should.
Right, but one of the plays that came up earlier.
Well, when I say they, I mean the coordinator. And
it's another chicken or the egg thing. Is Jalen being coached into being conservative, or is that just the nature of Jalen Hurts?
Yep, I agree.